The idea is really just to experiment and tell you a little bit about what I do, as well as show you the beautiful Myddelton Gardens, which has just reopened. So that's enough about me. Let's turn the camera around. So guys, in the distance, just beyond that tree over the fence, for any sports fans out there, there is the training ground of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Spurs, you know I'm an Arsenal fan, so it doesn't mean much to me, but I know it will mean quite a lot to some of you, especially Mr. Enrico Signorini, if you're watching. That's for you. Okay, let's just walk around the gardens. They really are quite beautiful. Now, I don't know much about plants, but I'm going to show you some. Anyway, okay, so we're going through the gardens. Now, when I was here a couple of weeks ago, there were daffodils were blooming, still a few over there, and there you go, here's a couple over here, and the bluebells were out, but you're not going to see so many of those. This is just a brief introduction to Myddelton Gardens. We are very lucky in Enfield, in that we have many gardens, Fawlty Hall Gardens, we have Capel Manor Gardens, so this is just Myddelton. So we're going to go through here. I'll show you the manor house. Oh, there's some bluebells. Remember, this is my first live TikTok, so anything could happen. Hope you can hear me. Got the microphone on, so you should be able to hear me. It's pretty quiet here today. Look, there's a meadow of the remaining daffodils and bluebells, and we are coming up to the manor house there in the distance. If memory serves me right, it's 18th century. Now, this Myddelton Gardens is it's the work and the love of Mr. E.A. Bowles. And this could be him. Here, yeah, there you go. E.A. Bowles. Edward Augustus Bowles. And he was born here at Myddelton House in 1865 and died in 1954, so a good age. He was one of the 20th century's greatest gardeners, gifted watercolour writer and botanist. There's a view of the house. Now, the Garnots were his ancestors, and they were wealthy Huguenot refugees, and they fled France in 1684 and invested their money in the New River Company. And in 1724, Michael Garnot bought this Tudor mansion called the Bowling Green House, located in what is now Myddelton Gardens. And there's your first look at the gardens. Again, I don't know too much about gardens, flowers in particular, but I think you'll appreciate it. So Myddelton, Hugh Myddelton, he created the New River, which brought water from Amwell in Hertfordshire to London, North London, Islington, in the late 1600s or middle 1600s, and it's still used today to bring some fresh water to London. But it was needed back then because you couldn't really drink the water of the Thames or the River Fleet because it was pretty disgusting actually, and you'd catch some sort of disease from it. Now they've blocked this off. There's a beautiful pond over here, but they seem to have dredged it, so yeah, can't go in there today. But there's the back of the house, greenhouse. That's not open either at the moment. There's still some COVID restrictions. In fact, I have to follow a particular pathway. And I think I'm going the right way. Yeah. There are some bluebells still. I hope there are some in the meadow. This is absolutely beautiful when the water's in it. It's pretty disgusting. Take a look back at the house. Guys, really thank you for joining me on this first live broadcast on TikTok. Going into the pergola garden, and you're going to find the old cross in there which stood in Enfield Marketplace. It's now in the centre of Myddelton Gardens. This is the King George III monument, and there's Latin. Anyone speak Latin? Maybe my Italian friends do. But I can see the translation. It says, erected to Almighty Jupiter, Lord of the Sea, on behalf of those citizens, subjects of William III, saved by his protection on the 4th of November 1688. After the passing of a century, this memorial was erected on the 5th of November, Guy Fawkes Day, 1788, to commemorate the restoration to health of King George III. Remember King George III? The king who went mad, or actually porphyria. Now I love this, the Irishman's shirt. Okay, I'll read it. This pillar here, this pillar and the wall beside it became known as the Irishman's shirt because its construction reminded Mr. Bowles of the tale of an Irishman who took a button to a charitable lady and asked if she would sew a shirt on it. Bowles obtained the pillar, which is the button, and built the wall, the shirt. And this is how the story became associated with the pillar and the wall. So he did it the opposite way round. Normally you would create a button, add a button to a shirt, and add a pillar to a wall, and he did the opposite. So I love this. Someone tell me, if anyone could tell me in the comments the name of this magnolia. See, I should have brushed up on this. Anyway, we'll go through this pergola, and I want to show you the old market cross. Guys, it's so lovely to be able to come out here now. It was closed for such a long time. So this is the old market cross which stood in the middle of Enfield Market up until I think it's about 1902, and then it was taken down and a new cross or hut memorial was put up, I think to celebrate the coronation of King Edward VII. So this one dates from 1826, 1904. It was removed, and it was possibly damaged during dismantling. I'll show you what it looked like in Enfield. I will show you Enfield another time. That's the local town. There's the old Church of St Andrews, and that's the original position of the cross in the market square. And here it is today. Hey, the sun's coming out. And look at this beautiful tree. Now, is this a magnolia? Tell me in the comments, guys. Okay, let's come out of the pergola. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Hope you are too. Quiet Sunday, no traffic. Sun's about to shine. Oh, okay, no, I thought they'd closed it off, but we go a different way to the rock garden. Looking back along the lawn here. Wow, yeah, look, sunshine. Enjoy it wherever you are. I really want to use my GoPro for better pictures, but I think it's okay, my iPhone. I'll learn how to do that with the GoPro Go Live shortly. Wow, yeah, look, the bluebells. Such a simple flower, but stunning. One of the only flowers I know the name for. So you can see where the daffodils are, most of them are dead now, but just a few weeks ago they were full of yellow and white forest of daffodils in this meadow. This is the meadow area. We'll go down to the rock garden. I don't want to say too much, guys. I'm going to just let you enjoy the quiet, just the bird song at the moment, until we get to the rock garden. Continue on to the rockery. I'm lucky to live in Enfield, guys, because it is in London. It's on the edge of London, so I have the best of both worlds. My access to London. Of course, I have such a passion for London. That's why I'm called Gary on London, because I love London. I'm a tour guide in London, but interactive tour guide. Of course, there are no tours at the moment, but more about that later. But also I have the countryside, so as I say, the best of both worlds. This is the rock garden. Again, it was looking better a few weeks ago. But Bowles first started to develop his beloved rock garden when he came here. The first part of the garden he created, and he positioned the rocks himself, jumping upon each one to fix it in its final position. And he put many of the plants he collected on his travels in this area, and could be found often tending to them, wearing his best suit. And there's a picture here of Mr. Bowles in his best suit tending to the rocks in the rock garden. He actually said, "My rock garden is a homemade affair. That is to say, I planned, built and planted it, and have had chief hand in caring for it for 20 years. There are 3 clay pools here fed by spring from the Alpine Meadow, and I'm going to take you down to the little brook in a moment. On the other side of the pools there was a lead tank. A large frog he had brought home from foreign travels could often be seen here in sunny days. And Mr. Bowles' ashes were placed in the rock garden in 1954. So let's just walk through the rock garden. I should have come here and been brave enough to start a live video, live TikTok when all the daffodils are out, but at least the bluebells are still out. It's actually quite warm now. Should go through here. It's like going through a fairy glade. Imagine you're in a Midsummer Night's Dream. I am an actor as well, guys, you know. I played Oberon in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Now see, there you go. This plaque tells you that Mr. Bowles' ashes were scattered here, and the commemorative plaque was unveiled by Brigadier Andrew Parker Bowles. Now who knows who that is? That was the first husband of Camilla Parker Bowles, the Duchess of Cornwall, the wife of Prince Charles. So she was related by marriage to Parker Bowles. I actually feel sorry for these guys. So I've done that before too. I've not known how to get in here and walked around the back, which is a lovely walk, actually, a lovely pathway. And then wished I could get in, but it was a long way round, so they're stuck outside, but I'm inside. So here's the little brook that feeds the rock garden or the Alpine Meadow, I think. Pigeon flies off. No wildlife here. Another time I'm going to take you to Capel Manor, which is a little bit of a miniature Kew Gardens in a sense. And they do have a little petting zoo there, some wildlife, horses, donkeys. They rescue horses and donkeys, actually, very worthy. Sheep and meerkats, actually, from what I remember, meerkats. And pot-bellied pigs, Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs. So let's go back through the meadow, show you another part of the garden. It's great to come here different times of the year because there's always something different to see. It's not really, if I'm honest, at its best at the moment, but I will return, at least quarterly maybe, show you what we've got to see. But I hope you're enjoying the peace and the quiet. Have a look at my previous videos. As I said, I am a tour guide and I love London, and I aim to bring you quirky videos about lesser known sites in London, fascinating stories, fun facts, that kind of thing. So I hope you enjoy those. Some 15 seconds or a minute, and I hope they lead you to my website, which is garyonlondon.com. And if you want to find full-length tours of London, my own themed tours, which I can't actually give live tours at the moment because there are no tourists in London, so I'm trying to find a way of supporting myself with filmed tours, some of my tours. And if you go on garyonlondon.com/online-tours, you will see there's about 6 there on offer at the moment. I aim to add more and more. I've got plans for several movie tours of London, movie locations in London. That was one of the tours I used to give and hopefully will be given again when things reopen. And Americans in London, any American viewers here, I'm planning an American tour in London. And also a tour of Hampstead. I was in Hampstead yesterday. I love Hampstead, so I'm going to bring that to you. Have a look at some of, I'm going to put a little one on today about Hampstead. Just a quick brief view of some of the stunning houses, and interesting facts about the London village of Hampstead, probably London's most beautiful village. Now this is the wildlife garden, and this is a small garden designed for wildlife. So I lied then, didn't I, when I said there was no wildlife here. As you walk around, you will find ideas on how to encourage everything from birds, mammals to small insects. Shall we walk around? Look, frog and toad house there. Sweet. Now the ponds have sloping sides, places where animals can come to drink and frogs and newts can spawn, and deeper areas are protected from freezing in the winter. I'm not sure we're going to see anything today. God, you know, guys, it's so lovely to walk out into the countryside. Just 5 minutes from my house, by the way. Maybe some of you may want to turn away. Maybe you don't like insects. There are lots of creatures that live and feed on dead wood, and the stag beetle larva, it will live on rotten wood. So stag beetle heaven, I guess. Compost over there. Now we're coming into the kitchen garden, and they grow a lot of produce here. See if there's anything on evidence. I can see nothing out yet, but strawberries are going to be growing over there, and courgettes. What else can we find? Anything right? Black currants there, guys, and raspberries. Oh, I love raspberries. Gooseberries. Now you don't see many gooseberries nowadays. It's really hard to find gooseberries in the stores. Now that a little further that way, maybe another 5-minute walk, is Fawlty Hall. Now they have a wonderful market. Farmers market every twice a month. I was going to go there today, but I'll leave it. Look at this pear conference. So these will be pears. Again, apologies for my lack of knowledge on all things agricultural, but let me just show you that around like this. Beautiful. You hear the bird noise? Rhubarb, early red rhubarb. Mitchell's rhubarb, early Alberts. Oh, could that have anything to do with Prince Albert? This seems to be the rhubarb plot. And some sea kale. Love that stuff too. And this will all be for asparagus, one of my top 5 vegetables. It says here that, as you can read, the kitchen garden is part of the Capital's Growth Community Harvest. All of the produce is being donated to those in need in the community. Well, now that is fantastic. I had no idea. So all this is going to the needy in the borough of Enfield. Not sure what they have. Amazing names, but I'm not sure what they are. There's a Maisie Lower Sahara, a Blue Ensign, a Benton Cordelia, a Dancer's Veil, Shepherd's Delight. What are these? They look like they're flowers. They're not vegetables. A whooper swan. Orinoco Flow. That was a song, wasn't it, by Enya? Here's the explanation there. It's an iris collection. Wow, who knew there were so many irises? Guys, did you know that the word iris comes from the story of the Greek goddess Iris, a messenger from the Greek gods who descended to earth on a rainbow? And Mr. Bowles, he planted these bordering the New River opposite the Tulip Terrace, which we should see in a moment. and they've won a lot of medals. The Dyke Medal commemorates William Richardson Dykes, author of The Genius Iris, published in 1914. One iris is chosen by each society annually, but some year no awards are given. Blue ribbon, sable night, blue sapphire. Wow, who knew there were so many irises? And this is a bit of a walled garden. I love walled gardens. On the other side of the wall, there were some 18th century cottages which lead down to Maiden's Brook and Fawlty Hall, and I will take you there on another occasion. Snowdrops, is that right? Now, it looks pretty dark over there. Hopefully we're not going to get caught in the rain. Lots of cherries growing along this wall. Plums. Victoria plums. And quince. And quince sounds very medieval, doesn't it? I think it's used in a lot of, I don't know, Victorian recipes. Gage, is that the same as a green gage, which is similar to a plum? I'm doing my best here with the fruit and veg. Now we can't go into the greenhouses because of COVID. I love these little things. Some colour in the kitchen garden. So guys, let's just come over here. Whenever I see a sign, it's like when I see a blue plaque, I get very excited. Strange, I know. Wow, look at these. So this is in fact, or was, the Peach House. This area was the engine room of the kitchen garden. And the frames are separated by dipping pools. I think this was the original kitchen garden. And the small vine house, I think it might be that one, or it could be the one behind me, was used to grow black Hamburg grapes, and the peach house contained 2 peach and 2 nectarine trees. And Bowles grew his famous crocus collection in front of the large glass house. He was dubbed the Crocus King. By 1901, he was growing 135 named species. Again, who knew there were so many crocuses? Bowles' love for them led him to write a book about the crocus, covering their cultivation and variety. And he hybridized many new crocuses and named some of them after birds. Now, following his death, the London School of Pharmacy built glass houses on either side of the cold frames, and the garden supplied materials to students excuse me, working in the laboratory. Into another world. I love this, going through the walls here. Unfortunately, it's getting dark. I expected to come through here and it would be bright. Of that tree, isn't that incredible? And this lawn here, and there's the tulips over there. And this little bridge is dated from 1832. It's home to a large wisteria. I can't quite remember about the story of these ostriches. Now they came from another house in Enfield, but I'm not sure where. Anyway, let's have a walk along, see the tulips, and then go onto the lawn, and then we'll be nearly finished. I love that tree. That looks like it should be in the autumn. It should be autumn, but wow, it's glowing. It's on fire. So this is the tulip terrace. Wow. Tulips from Amsterdam. More bluebells. What's this? There's a bee in action on what could be cherry tree maybe. Let's have a look at the kitchen garden, the overview. Perfect. Okay, come through to what was the original bowling green, and then we are nearly finished for today's live and first presentation on TikTok. Now, for those of you who are just joining me, guys, I am not a gardener. I'm more interested in history, but these are historic gardens, which is why I'm here today, and it's only 5 minutes from my house. Let's wander through here. Whoop. Through the jungle. So what I love to find are these little spots where you can just sit, honestly, on a sunny day. Now I know that the gardens are open again. I will come here with a book or some writing material and write my next tour, research my next tour. This is the wild garden, in fact, because of its minimal maintenance. He planted bamboos here to screen the area from the pond. But in 1987, yes, during the Great Storm, a larch tree fell onto this area. My God, I remember that great storm. There's the palm trees in the distance. An Acer. Now this is a huge Acer. I've got an Acer in my garden. I love it. My favourite plant in the garden. And it's at its best when the leaves are a bright flaming red. So this will be, I've got to come back and see this later in the year. I'll show you my Acer another time in the garden. Okay, let's just wander through here onto the bowling green. And you know what? This is perfectly timed because I think it's about to start raining. So I'm going home to watch some football, actually, have a Sunday roast and watch the Arsenal game. Not doing very well at the moment, but hopefully things may change. But I will finish with this this view of the bowling green. Oh, look at these pink tulips, rather full tulips here. Guys, please follow me as well. If you want to see more of these videos, I will go live more often now. I know that I can do it, and I've really enjoyed it actually. So I will go live more and show you a lot more of London. That's the main aim. So this is the bowling green lawn. And the history of the area surrounding Myddelton House can be traced from Roman actually through to Tudor and Elizabethan times. Also near to Fawlty Hall is the Elsing Palace, which was one of Henry VIII's palaces, and I'll tell you more about that another time. Now this path was on the original drive to the house. And the area is now called Bowling Green Lawn. Every May, when the tulips were at their best, Mr. Bowles held a tulip tea here to celebrate his birthday. And let me just show you the tulip tea, in black and white, of course. There he is with one of his dogs. He says, Tom Tiddler's ground is very rich in gold and silver just now, which is in June. Tom must have changed a check on the bank of summer, for I have never seen the golden end more glowing. Let's just calm out. That's a little circle of Myddelton House. I have timed this perfectly because look at that, doesn't look good. Can I get back in time? It's coming out now. We are in the Lee Valley, as it says there on the flag. I've never been inside the house. I think it is just offices, but I would love to have a look inside. Maybe they use it for weddings as well, though. There is a visitor centre here. You can have tea and cakes and learn more about the house and the gardens. Okay, let's just have one wander down here and then we'll finish. Look at that. Oh guys, I will show you a magnificent cedar tree. They say the second oldest in England is at 40 Hall. Maybe on one of my videos already. I do recommend that you watch my TikTok videos if you are interested in history and fun facts about London, etc. I've got a lot on there now, from Horse Guards Parade to Admiral's House in Hampstead, where I was the other day, and there's another Easter. And was a location for Mary Poppins. You have to watch to see what location it was. This is lovely at last, lots of colour as we wander through here. The blossom. So yeah, there are many places. I thought that said Camilla. Camellia. Yeah, many places, many videos on all sorts of topics, from the Mayflower pub, historic Mayflower pub, where the Pilgrims set sail in Rotherhithe to the New World. We've got the Dennis Severs house, which is a really mysterious house. And daffodils, if you want to see daffodils, I've got the daffodils in Green Park. So guys, we'll finish up the house. I want to thank you so much for coming with me on this little walk around Myddelton House and Myddelton Gardens, and I hope to do many of these in the future, go live. And other than that, please continue to support me just by watching videos, following me, and sharing with friends, family and colleagues. I am new to this, and I hope it has been fairly professional. But if you want to see professional, have a look at my my tours on the website. Full theme tours. Now they range from Jack the Ripper. It's like nearly 2 hours on Jack the Ripper. A sort of guided walk-in theme tour of the life. And those vicious Victorian times, Jack the Ripper. There's a Shakespeare tour. There's an Enfield tour, two-part Enfield tour, all about this area. And a Waltham Cross tour, and my hometown. And Royal Scandals. And finally a city pub tour. And I will do a lot more city pub tours. That's one of my favourite tours to do, live as a tour guide. For obvious reasons. Okay, one look back at the house, and I will bid you farewell. Thank you so much again, guys. Enjoy your Sunday if you're in the UK. Enjoy your bank holiday Monday. Doesn't look like good weather, but enjoy anyway. Okay, bye guys. Keep following